Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am excited to be playing with a brand new blush formula. You guys, there's so many blushes launching. I have so many to test, and obviously I have not been doing as many long form videos. I do plan on doing a chatty get ready with me, but there's so many new things that I want to try. So today I'm going to be focusing on the brand new Dior Rosy Glow blush shades. There are 4 new shades. I only got my hands on 3, but I just want to do a demo swatches, give you my first impression, and then tell you some things that surprised me just upon swatching them and then applying them to the cheeks. These were available this morning, and then when I just checked, it said waitlist. So I don't know if they've already sold out or Dior is playing games. I feel like trying to hunt down makeup is a full-time job. I'm like, yo, I just want to like throw my money at you. I want to buy your products. Why is it so difficult to track down new makeup? That's a whole nother topic, but the lengths that we go through to get these new products, I don't think it's healthy. I will have this link down below everywhere that you can pick these up or information on when. And then I will have all the rest of my makeup linked down below as well. I have a ton of new subscribers from short form content, so welcome. I think I'm actually gonna hit 400,000 subscribers today, which is sort of awkward because I haven't been doing a ton of long videos, but my shorts are just bringing in a lot of new faces. So welcome. I hope you enjoy my short form content. And if you want long form, you want to chat, you want to see no filter zoomed in reviews, you will enjoy my channel. I can promise you that. I'm going to go ahead and stop rambling now. If you enjoy trying new makeup videos, brand new makeup drops, or just demos and first impressions, give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. And let's go ahead and hop into trying out the brand new blushes from Dior. Quickly wanted to mention what is on my chest because I know I'm going to get comments asking. So this is my first time trying this, but it's the Bondi Sands Gradual Tanning Lotion Tinted Skin Perfector. So it actually comes out like body makeup, but it has a gradual tanner in it. So I just applied this for the first time. I will keep you guys updated. I can tell that my foundation is a little bit warmer than this is on my body, so I'll have to play around with that, but it blended super nice. I don't feel super sticky, it's not uncomfortable. So I will keep you guys updated on this and just how much color I get once I rinse it off. But this is what it looks like initially applied, and I'm liking it so far. Okay, back to the blushes. The reason you're watching this video, I'm a little scatterbrained because I haven't filmed a long video in a couple weeks, but I'm gonna do my best. So these are brand new from Dior. They are the Backstage Rosy Glow blushes. Now I have 3 of the new shades. There are 4. There is another shade called Berry. I've been trying to get my hands on it. I couldn't, so I may pick it up once I see it online. Again, I will have links down below because they are now on Dior and Sephora, but they seem to be like coming soon, or sometimes they're available. So I will have it linked down below and you can kind of keep your eye on that. Now, originally they came out with 2 shades, which was the pink and the coral. This formula is very controversial. People feel very strongly. They either hate it or they love it. Here's where I think this formula sets people or turns people off. These do not swatch well. It's not a formula that if I were to go into store and swatch this, that I would be impressed with and I would pick up. But there's something special about the way that these apply to the skin. They just give you this gorgeous glow. You almost get like this lit from within neon sort of vibe, but a very soft neon. So I could see if you have super deep skin tone or really tan skin that you may think that these are just, you know, really light. You don't want to build them up that much. You don't find that they really do much. But the new shades are honestly more geared towards medium, tan, deep skin tones. So I feel like they listened and came out with some shades that have a lot more depth and more pigment, and we're going to talk about that. So they're $40 each. They are made in France. You get 0.15 ounces, and they also have a 12-month shelf life. Now, in terms of the packaging, it is the same component as the original shades, but a different logo. So let's go over the new shades. The first one and the lightest of the 4 is called Rosewood. This one is the sheerest of the ones that I have. Originally, when I swatched this and I did a short video on it, I was a little worried because I thought that it felt just really hard pressed, but I can tell you that on the cheeks, it really built up nicely, and I'm gonna demo that for you. But I'm telling you, swatching this, I'm like, wow, that looks like nothing. I don't get it. I thought that this might be one that people would be disappointed in, but using it yesterday on the cheeks, for some reason, it just built up so much easier than it does in a swatch. I want to demo that. We'll get into that. Then we have the shade Mahogany. So this one's like a chocolate brown, and it is deep. Now this one is more pigmented. I mean, you can see I barely put my finger in. Definitely more pigmented. Of course, it is a deeper shade. And then the last shade that I was able to grab is called Cherry. I feel like a lot of people are really going to favor this one just because it is noticeably the most pigmented. I mean, right off the bat, it doesn't feel as hard pressed. It definitely has more punch to it than the other shades. But again, overall, this formula is not going to be a full pigment intense formula. It's more of a glow buildable. But let's go ahead and zoom in and start on application. All right, so I've got you zoomed in, and I want to start off with Mahogany. So I'm going to use a clean brush every time. I don't know if this is going to work as a bronzer shade on me, but we're just going to apply it and see how it blends on my skin tone. This shade, I just don't know if it's one that is really suited for me, which is totally okay. I'm just demoing it for you guys. So I'm just taking my powder brush, sort of going over the edges. And this is what it looks like, just built up, I would say, you know, 2 or 3 layers. So it definitely does sort of chisel out my face from the front. It wouldn't be my first choice for a bronzer. I think the tone is really sort of neutral, almost leaning cool. Like, I really don't see warmth in this at all. So I think for a deeper skin tone, especially if you have like tan, rich, deep skin with a fluffy brush, I do think that this would be absolutely gorgeous. I really just don't think it's suited for my skin tone, but that's totally okay because, you know, the lighter shades worked perfectly. On the skin, I do feel like it's looking a little bit choppy or patchy. It could just be that this shade is not for like concentrated application like I did, and maybe it just would be better with a fluffy brush. So now I want to go in on the other side and I want to use Cherry. So I'm going to go in with a clean brush and I'm going to tap my brush in. Now, I don't know if you can see, but there's a ton of pigment on there and I don't want to go too overboard. So I'm just going to start applying, and you can see that the blush is very noticeably flushed. I'm gonna go ahead and add one more layer to really just make this pop. Keep in mind, I don't have bronzer on either. So you can see that they're so different. I mean, Cherry is just like bright, fun, just honestly my vibe. And then the Mahogany is more a bronzy tone, but they look nothing alike. So I really like that they're different. I want to try to remove both of these and then go in with Rosewood, but I'm gonna go ahead and wash this off. Not really wash, I'm gonna try to wipe it and then reapply my powder and finish off with playing around. So I'm gonna wash this off and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I redid my cheeks. I just went ahead and wiped it off with a wipe, applied foundation and powder again, and then I did apply bronzer. It's not perfect because you can sort of see where I did remove it, but you know, we're just doing this to try these out. So this one is Rosewood, which, as I said before, this swatched the worst. I was thinking that this would not build up, but I'm just going to dip my brush in. You can see that you get pigment on your brush. And then I'm going to start applying to the face. So this is definitely the most sheer of the new shades. So I'm going in with the second layer here. But really, it's not as hard to build up as I anticipated. And of course, I'm using a more fluffy brush. So I'm going in with the third layer. This one I feel like has the most glow to it, almost gives you like a highlighted effect. It is more buildable than the other two. I think obviously the shade is just lighter, but also it is harder pressed. I did notice that. So that is 3 layers. I want to go in next with a more dense brush to show you how it would apply with that. Okay, so I grabbed a more dense brush. This is a Refer 37, and I'm just going to build this up on the brush so you can see the pigment, and then I'm going to start applying. So that is 1 layer. I feel like I could build it to 2. The brush really does make a big difference, but this is 2 layers and this is 3 layers. You just really have to be mindful of what tools you're using. And then also keep in mind that I do powder my foundation heavily. Like I bake, so things are going to need built up more on my skin than somebody that, let's say, very lightly powders or doesn't powder at all. They would show up obviously more pigmented. So I'm just gonna pull this over my nose, and that's kind of why I love this formula. It just gives you this beautiful glow. And this shade in particular, I don't know, I love Cherry, but this shade might be my favorite just for every day because it just has this beautiful like radiance to it. Okay, now that I've applied all 3 shades separately, I'm just gonna go in and play around. I'm gonna add a little bit of Cherry on top of the Rosewood, just to see how they combine. And I'm just using a fluffier brush, which if you are my skin tone, I would recommend with Cherry. It just adds a little bit of an oomph. Of course, you can go even heavier, which, you know, I love. And I'm just taking this honestly all across the face and then a little bit on my forehead. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is why I love this formula. These 2 shades, the Rosewood and the Cherry together, this is what I wore yesterday. I started off with the Rosewood and then I was like, I have to try the Cherry. Ooh, this is just like summer, but wow. And then just for fun, I want to add a little bit of the pink just to show you guys how I use it and how it can transform your makeup. So I'm just going to take a tiny brush, and I do that often with this shade, and I'm just going to load it up on the brush, and I just use this just as a topper to add that baby doll flush. I just went from more of like a red rosy flush into this like baby doll touch of color. It's one of those that you can just sort of transform whatever you're wearing, and it gives you this like glowy neon look. So I'm gonna go ahead and just finish off the final touches of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back with my final thoughts. All right, so I went ahead and finished my makeup, and I want to go over my final thoughts. Now, I'm a huge fan of this formula, so it doesn't shock me that I do love these blushes. I just think this is such a unique formula because it swatches so poorly, but on the cheeks, it just really comes alive. This is more of a topper or mixer formula. I like to reach for these when I just want to kind of mix it up. So if I apply a blush that is just a little too flat or maybe a little bit too red or orange, I will grab the pink to kind of even it out, or the coral, and I feel like it's just fun to layer, and they layer so beautifully because they're so buildable. I really thought that Cherry was going to be my favorite, but shockingly, I think that my favorite is Rosewood. It is gorgeous. It just has like this lit from within glow. My next favorite has to be Cherry, which I'm not shocked by. I really have to say that these 2 shades together are absolutely stunning. This one is definitely the most pigmented of the 3. This one I don't feel like has a glow really, whereas Rosewood has some sort of like radiance to it, but this has that neon quality that the original shades have, where it really just kind of lights up the skin. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just beautiful. And then my least favorite, which isn't surprising, is Mahogany. I feel like I'm gonna have to play around with this one. Now, in terms of pigment, it's right in the middle of the other 2. This one has some radiance to it, and I felt like it kind of got a little patchy on my skin. Again, just could be my application application, you know, the powder, or really that this isn't the blush that is intended for my skin tone. I wanted to try it and test it out for you guys, and I will play around with using this like as a contour or a bronzer or even on my eyes, but overall I'm not surprised that I love these blushes. I am happy to see 4 more shades, but I would have liked to see even more and more variety in undertones, but I do think that these are absolutely stunning. If you like the formula, the glow, the buildability, I think you will really enjoy these. So I hope this review helped you. Of course, I will link them down below wherever I can. I will also link the rest of my makeup, and I would love to know which one is your favorite. Have you picked them up? Are you passing on them? Have you tried this formula? I always love hearing what you guys think down below. I did also this morning pick up the new Makeup by Mario cream blushes. I was sort of teetering on which one to do a review of, but I ended up going with the Dior. So let me know if you want a review on that, and I will possibly do that this weekend, but just happy to have a video back with you guys. I hope this video was helpful. Everything will be linked down below. I feel like I'm losing my voice, which is a strange turn of events, but if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.